thing about Goku being pure of heart is something that came up time and time again, but it started all the way back in early Dragon Ball when Goku was able to ride the Kintone cloud, the Nimbus cloud of Master Roshi. And to ride the cloud, you have to have a pure heart. As we've discussed in the past, Toriyama is notorious for using some ancient Asian Buddhist mythology and philosophy in his Dragon Ball stories and also in Dr. Slump, and the idea of having a pure heart is no different. And when you really look into all the Taoism in Dragon Ball and the metaphors that Toriyama gives us, you really pick up on the fact that there's a lot of secret messages in Dragon Ball that Toriyama's conveying to us that most of us never pick up on because we're too caught up in the action and the comedy of the series. But make no mistake, Toriyama when he was younger, again, not the best writer in the world, obviously, but the dude had an incredible sense of history and an incredible sense of just a genius level knowledge when it came to stuff like this. Taoists believe that having a pure heart is tied to the innocence of your soul. In Japanese, it's called shiraki, the art of the uncarved log. And the reason why they call it the uncarved log is that it's sort of a metaphor for a piece of wood that's sort of in nature, like in a forest somewhere, that has yet to be cut down by man. Now, what does that mean, cut down by man? If you're familiar with the works of Abraham Maslow, then this shouldn't be a foreign concept to you. To keep it simple, it is the idea that nature and the way nature creates you is your true self. In other words, when you're a child, you have no real negativity inside of you. You are, by nature, an uncarved log, something that is pure and uncorrupted, and it's life and the trials and tribulations of life that makes us into people who have negative thoughts and who do bad things. So we are all born good, but later become bad. And really that's the ultimate Taoist goal, is to go back and discover our former true self, our simple, pure-hearted version of who we were when we were born. Life's experiences mold you and shape you into the person who you become, but through meditation, self-cultivation, mental training, you can return back to the person who you originally were, which is called Shizen in Japanese, aka natural state. And you do that by following what's called the truth and becoming a true man. Abraham Maslow calls this self-actualization, which is actually the true definition of being alpha. People throw that word around, and even I do, as a joke, but when you're truly alpha, whether you're male or female, it's when you become self-actualized. And it takes years for a human male or a human female to get there, unless of course you're a prodigy, like Goku. And what's interesting is that this concept is one that was also borrowed by George Lucas in Star Wars. Another connection between Star Wars and Dragon Ball, because both Toriyama and George Lucas studied Eastern philosophy and they understand what all of this means. In Star Wars,